Hello there everyone, my name is Mathew McKenna and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to once again react to Lana Del Rey. This is the third time I've done a video on her, but people have kept requesting more, so we are doing a third. Before we get into it, I want to give a real quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is Amino. Amino is an app where you can join communities of all kinds of things that you're interested in, whether it's pop music like K-pop, TV shows, movies, all kinds of fandoms. And on there they're doing video content called Stories. Now I myself am making content over there. A little while ago I made a video on there where I talked about 3 times pop musicians made me shook. And now I've also made a video with a little bit of relationship advice. It's honestly something that's really personal and something I haven't talked about on my channel or any other social media. It's to do with abusive relationships and my experience with one. I really like the idea of being able to post stuff on there that I wouldn't be able to post on other social medias. My username is @MathewMcKenna. Make sure you head over there and follow me. And of course there is just a bunch of other content that you can go look at on there. I've been watching everything from like mini tutorials and people singing to like things that would just be vines. I'll leave a download link down below. Make sure you go check it out. Don't forget to go turn on my post notifications there too. That way you'll see everything I'll be posting. So the very first song we're gonna listen to is, I think, quite a popular one. It's called Summertime Sadness. And I feel like this was mentioned a lot in the comments of my previous videos on Lana, that they wanted me to do this one. So here we go. I feel like I remembered from some of the other songs that she often has this like old school vibe. It's not too often people use bells like that. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember what her voice sounded like in the songs I listened to before, but nonetheless, I'm enjoying the like almost deep, I don't know if it's quite deep, it's just a bit huskier sound on this voice. Oh, and then it kind of went back up a bit. Wow, she sounds so relaxed. One thing that I hear quite a bit is that like when things are quite like slow tempo, oftentimes people struggle to stay on beat. I think a lot of people think that it's like way easier to stay in time with the music when things are slower because, oh, you've got more time to catch up and say the words instead of if something's like super fast paced. But honestly, I think it's usually the other way around. It's just really hard to know how long to stretch your notes when you're doing something with like quite a slow tempo, and you really risk sounding not like bad, but just weird. She's not doing that here, just to clarify. She's sounding really good singing that really slow pace. She was quite husky and a bit low before, but I like how she's brought it up. She sounds almost nasally for some of these notes, and it just gives a really interesting like variation. Oh wow. Not too often in songs do you hear like a marching band beat in the background. Normally you hear like beats, you know, right? Like in the background. But in at least this little section of what I assume is the chorus, given the name of the song, the beat is like a little, it's like a drummer marching band, like not like some big massive like drum and bass thing. It's really nice. I know that I've talked about this so many times about like how I really like stuff when it's quite minimal. I say that a lot on my channel, but I hear her voice, her backing voice, the little marching drum, some bells, and like maybe some other vocals. But really, it's not all that much going on in this song, yet somehow it sounds nice and full. With all the praise that I've heaped onto this song so far, I would be remiss if I didn't mention one thing that I am not liking, and that's this, I guess, length. It doesn't feel like this needs to be a practically 5-minute long song, especially because the chorus kind of just repeated quite a few times and didn't really change. So, you know, I'm not like throwing shade or attacking her or anything, but that felt quite a lot longer than it needed to be. But that's just like my opinion, man. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one, which is called Lust for Life, and apparently features The Weeknd. I did a reaction video to The Weeknd. I was gonna say not all that long ago, but I think it was ages ago. And I found him very intriguing, just a different sound. So I'm really curious to see how they'll work together. Well, this is a different vibe. Even though so far I'm not quite enjoying this song. I don't know, there's just something about the melody and the composition that's not sitting with me very well. God, her voice is incredible, isn't it? I really like this shot. Okay, wow, yeah, their voices do really fit together. I didn't even think about how like his falsetto voice would mesh so well with her higher pitched range. It sounds really, really good. They're kind of doing like a call and response style duet, but I'm really hoping that they combine their voices because I would love to hear some harmonies coming out of these guys.
I told you twice in our love letter, there's no stopping now.
This is not meant as like an attack, it's just an amusing thing to notice. If anyone has watched How I Met Your Mother, the way that Lana just spoke there sounds so much like Sandcastles in the Sand by Robin Sparkles when she like does her little whispering voice.
You're so unfair. You don't understand our love.
That was a fine song, to be honest. I think I actually maybe had the same problem as I have with Summertime Sadness, in that it just kind of felt like the chorus was repeating too much without really changing. Please don't hate me for this. I'm not saying it like to be mean. It's just a personal preference. I tend to prefer shorter songs, or songs that like, if they're gonna be longer, they evolve the chorus or evolve the verses in such a way as to continue it being engaging. But like, even with older songs and some of the most famous songs in the world, when they just repeat over and over again, it doesn't like annoy me, I just get quite disengaged. So far, I'm definitely preferring Summertime Sadness. I think that was a really nice, interesting song, especially because, like I said, it was so minimalist. Lust for Life didn't really feel quite as minimal. There was quite a lot going on there in regards to beat, music, melody, backing vocals, even random effects. So like, while it was great and their voices sounded amazing, I think Summertime Sadness really let her just raw vocal talent show through. So the next one is called Shades of Cool. I'm assuming it's not cool like, you're so cool. I like that guitar riff. Gives a creepy, poignant vibe. I like the like smooth kind of pulsing vibe of her vocals here. I'm really curious if there's going to be like a drop or something here, because I don't think Summertime Sadness really had like a drop or a change in chorus or anything. Is it coming now? There you go. That's nice. Wow, her slides. Oh my gosh, she literally just sounded like an angel. Calm down, Lana, you're just showing off now. One thing that I'm liking about this song, kind of more so than especially Lust for Life, I have a massive preference for when singers are quite specific with their lyrics. It doesn't have to be them like confessing some horrible thing that happened to them or being super specific about like their name was Mathew, they were 24 and lived in Sydney, Australia. You know, like I don't need that kind of specificity. I guess on the flip side is I just really dislike vague lyrics where like Lust for Life, I was like, yeah, fine, it's a good song, sounds good, it's interesting, but lyrically it's just, it felt like it could be about anyone, you know? I guess to an extent that's the point, but I prefer a song like this where I'm getting like a real feel for the character, not just of the person she's singing about, but for her character in this scenario. And I think that's just, there's something really powerful about that you really miss out on when you go vague. I like that she's singing about like being in love with someone that seemingly doesn't seem like the best person, but she's like, I can't change you, you are who you are. Her voice is incredible here. See, this is interesting because like I've been saying about the last couple of songs, there hasn't really been this sort of like change within the song itself. And now this is a variation straight up. We're getting a little solo, a bit of a change of the melody. I think this has taken the #1 spot on my list, to be honest. Honestly, I think I preferred that song more than the other two. That was really well composed. Her voice sounded just incredible. And it had an element of change within the song itself. I felt engaged. And to top all of that off, I liked the specificity and I liked being able to get a grasp of the characters involved. So the next and last song we're going to listen to is called Ride. Okay. I was trying to decide if I liked her voice in this one, but I think I do.
Don't break me down.
Okay. I'm just gonna say right now, this feels like the kind of song because she's like keeping her voice a bit reserved here. I wonder if during the chorus she's gonna belt out some notes. I would love to hear that.
I've been traveling too long.
But I'm not convinced that's gonna happen.
Been trying hard not to get into trouble.
I will say that the delivery of lyrics and the vocal melody are kind of weird, but in a good way, right? It just kind of was off-putting at first because it's not the typical melody you'd have over a beat or song like this. So it's pretty odd, but I like it. I feel like Lana often talks about dying young. Like I've heard that quite a few times in the videos I've done on her.
That's the way the road dogs do it right till dark.
How does she have such amazing vibrato on her lower notes? I think what's throwing me off about the melody is it seems like she was starting lines before the previous bar had ended, so it gives this kind of like, oh, the line's coming in earlier than you'd think vibe. Oh my god, that high note was awesome. That was also a pretty solid song. I still think that Shades of Cool has taken it as my #1 preference. There was just something about that song, man, that just blew me away. So with that said, enough to giving you all my opinions on those songs, I want to hear what you have to say. Did you like those songs, and which was your favorite? Had you not heard any of those before? Because I'm always keen to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to click that like button, and as always, have an awesome time until I see you next. See ya!